Warmachine board, battle report.
Ahoy there! Here's the mighty Die with another Warmachine battle report for you. Let's get straight on and look at the lists.
Cygnar versus Retribution.
Okay, so today I'm playing Stryker 2, Epic Stryker, and his battle group consists of Thorn. That's it. He's also got a Squire. Got a full unit of Sword Knights with the UA. I've got a full unit of sort of Storm Blades with the UA. I've got a Stormclad and Rowdy, but Rowdy's standing in for a second Stormclad, and they're both Jack Marshalled to the Sword Knights. And I've got some solos as well. I've got Runewood and the Journeyman Warcaster and Piper and Strangeways. And I think that's it. So that's 50 points.
So my army consists of Issyria. In her battle group are the Colossal Hyperion and the Phoenix. Also there are two House Guard units, one unit of Halberdiers with UA and the Riflemen with UA. And in the back there is a House Guard Thane to support them. Also an Arcanist for the Jacks, and on the left a tiny unit of Dawnguard Sentinels. And that's my 50 points.
Okay, here we are. I got the first turn again.
Setting up.
Do you want to explain why that might be?
Yeah, because I'm a bit stupid when it comes to tactics, because for some reason I really can't grasp the mechanics of the game when I just read it. Anyway, I should have taken the first turn because I have this tier list from Issyria, Dawn's something, and I would have been able to run like nearly into your deployment zone with my House Guard guys, and for some reason I thought that staying behind and letting you take the first turn was a better choice, which it wasn't, as it turns out, in a few seconds.
So both of our lists are kind of designed to really get stuck into the other person's army.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
And I was trying to take advantage of a lot of speed boosts as well. Although my army doesn't necessarily have to get first turn, but as you can see here, I'm just moving up those two heavies, and that was even before their activation, so they can run well into the zones there, almost the halfway line.
And if I
go on.
And if I would have moved my guys, they would have been exactly there, I guess, where you're standing now.
So either way, if you had taken the first turn, then I probably would have been able to engage you in the first turn, in my first turn. But as I took the first turn, I moved up, and then that kind of prevented you from doing your full charge.
Exactly.
Because you would have had to have run, and then you wouldn't have been able to make any attacks. So that was the advantage of my army, is that I would be able to make attacks after running because of Stryker's feat.
Yeah, right. I can't do that. Yeah.
So unfortunately for you, you ended up just parking on the edge of the scoring area there.
Yeah. And again, I put my Dawn Guard behind the forest.
Yeah.
Which I always keep doing for some reason.
And you even moved your Hyperion first.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Anyway, but the Hyperion's got Pathfinder automatically, so you could have moved him afterwards as well. In fact, it would have made a big difference in this game, so the House Guard could have run up, and then the Hyperion could have just walked up behind them.
The Dawn Guard, you mean?
Dawn Guard,
Okay.
No, the House Guard...
The House Guard is being killed in the background.
Not yet, no, because it's all close combat, so it's just your first turn. And I think you're regretting not taking the first turn at the moment. Oh, by the way, I should mention that box in the background is actually acting like a house. It's an obstruction. So we decided to use a bit more terrain on this one.
Yeah.
So my list is it's not an original idea, but it's an idea that I came up with without net listing.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea is that it's Stryker 2, and you take advantage of every factor, every spell that he's got as a good use in the strategy, and you just get everything as far up the board as quickly as possible, and just hit as hard as possible. If you need to run, so the idea is that second turn you have to be getting into engagement, which is what I'm doing here. So all those guys are running at the moment, and then I'll be using Stryker's feet to actually get them up to your guys and making an attack. So I don't get my charge, except with the 2 Stormclads. They did get to charge, but everyone else isn't charging. They're just running and then using the feet to make attacks.
Right. Yeah.
And the idea is to do so much damage that you can't really recover, and that you certainly can't do any charges either. In fact, there was almost no charges in this game, despite the fact that it was a close combat game.
Yeah.
And as
whatever you did, it worked. Yeah.
Yeah, it was okay. The first 2 turns were great, and I was able to pretty much disable the Colossal, the Hyperion. You can see the Stormclad's already standing next to it there.
Yeah.
And Rowdy is standing in for the other Stormclad up the top there. But I think it kind of...
Yeah, as you can see, my...
Go on.
No, that was just yeah. As you can see, I'm just standing behind there and right on the still on the edge, and had no chance to move because of taking the second turn.
Yeah, that's right. And because I tried to hit your lines turn 2, but in actual fact I didn't really clear your guys off the objectives at all during the game.
That's right.
So there was a bit. I got a long way across the board, but the lines when they came together, the 2 armies, the lines didn't change that much for the rest of the game. So the idea with my list is that you try and assassinate in turn 3, but your army was just actually too strong for me to get to Issyria with Stryker, and my other heavies were all too busy. So it actually turned into a scenario game more than anything. I guess what helped me a little bit is that I had quite a lot of people on the board. Right, so even if I totally disregarded the tactic I should have used, the sheer amount of miniatures helped me a little bit to not die outright. And one thing I've realised that I didn't do properly was I didn't use the spell which is called Rebuke, which stops you from being able to issue and receive orders. And I should have cast that on the House Guard, because they just stopped me dead because they were armour 20 for the entire game. And if I'd rebuked them, then they would have been armor 16, and that would have made a huge difference.
Yeah, that's right. You always talked about the spell, but never used it.
Yeah, exactly. Thorn was actually engaged for a lot of the game, which was stupid because if he can only cast spells, he can only act as an arc node when he's got Haley with him. When he's engaged, so usually arc nodes can't channel spells when they're engaged, and he can't either. So I should have just. I don't think he really killed anything either, so I should have just hung him back a little bit.
Yeah, I think he was a bit lame in that game, so to speak.
Yeah. But usually the idea would be to run him up front, and then if anyone's got advanced deployment, then he should be able to cast Rebuke on them. He's also got the ability to move after having spell channeled through him, which I didn't really use either.
No, you didn't. Yeah, I knew that one, but you didn't use it. Anyway, there was no place to go for him anyway.
No, that's right. He would have taken some free strikes. But yeah, those House Guard, they really... I found it very difficult to break through there, despite the fact that I was hitting them very hard with the Sword Knights. Here,
by the way, I moved the Phoenix in the background, and you told me that the start actions would use a focus. I wasn't sure about that, and I believed you. So.
I totally cheated. I was convinced that it's only power attacks, so normal special abilities you don't have to spend focus for those. But he did end up using it in the end anyway.
Yeah, I guess it wouldn't have made a difference anyway.
No, I mean, it killed a couple of your guys and a couple of my guys. But my guys were pretty tough. They actually used tough from the Piper, which was quite good. But I think only 2 guys actually got saved using tough. And the guys are worth less than a point each, and the Piper's worth 2 points. So I'm not really sure that he paid for himself in this game. I think I might have to reconsider having him in there. Because with the Arcane Shield on them anyway, they were quite high armour. And they're in base to base with each other as well. And Stryker, in another circumstance, could also put them up. There goes the Colossal. Could also put them up to armor 21 without using tough. So
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, so I'm not sure if Piper was optimal. He did save a couple of guys, but it didn't really make his points back.
Did you want to tell again how you killed my Colossal easily?
Yeah, so I used Stryker's Feet turn. So the Stormblades ran twice to get up to almost up to the base of the Colossal, and then I managed to get a Stormclad up there as well. And then I cast Stryker's what's it called? Positive Charge on the and then the Stormblades were all within 3 inches then, and then used Stryker's Feet to move them into base contact, and then attacked the Colossal with them then. But I think at that point the Stormclad had already done a huge amount of damage. I think he'd taken out one side of the Colossal on his own.
Exactly.
Because I loaded him up with focus. No, I didn't, did I? I gave him a focus with Strange Ways, and then he had his charge, and then he bought an extra attack with from being Jack Marshalled as well.
Yeah, I guess that was that. Yeah, he was Jack Marshall, right?
So he did some. I think I rolled quite well as well. I think he did some pretty good damage. So yeah, as you can see, the position-wise, the game's pretty much stalled. There's a sort of fixed line. And apart from the Sentinels, they're just about to move into the lower of the 2 zones, the one closest to the camera.
Right.
And they will be annoying because they stop me from winning in my 3rd turn.
Right, yeah. Would have been a short game.
So these zones are massive. They're really big. So if we had a different scenario with the smaller zones, or the ones with the 12-inch by 6-inch zones, then I probably would have had a easier time winning the scenario.
Yeah.
I guess if you had the first turn, then this line would probably be about 12 inches to the right of the screen.
Probably, yeah, exactly.
And it would have been probably a bit of a longer game, and I would probably be trying to break through with Stryker.
Yeah, but seeing that I didn't expect any of the things you did, it would maybe have turned out the same. But
it's quite a mean list, and if you don't sort of know what's going to happen, then it's quite hard to react to, I think.
I was surprised how well this Jack marshalling works.
It's great.
So that you can
good.
move them twice a turn.
Yeah.
A marshal Jack can.
No, it's not because it's not just because they're marshaled. It's because the UA for the Sword Knights has a Pronto ability, which is a drive, and so he does a leadership test, command test, and then he can let them do a full advance.
Right, that was that one.
Unfortunately, Jack Marshals can't marshal character Jacks, so otherwise I would have been using Rowdy, and his ability is fantastic. He can walk up in similar to the Phoenix. Everything within 2. He does a melee roll, and anyone's defense within 2 inches that he defeats, they get knocked down.
What?
Yeah, so
that's pretty mean. Yeah,
so it's great for example Winterguard when they're up defense 17, because he's mat 8, and you can go in and you can boost it, and then get and you also get because if he's bonded to Stryker, then you can get an extra dice on your first attack each turn as well. So he'd be rolling 4 dice with mat 8 to try and knock down defense 17. That would be great, but yeah, unfortunately, Jack Marshals can't have character Jacks. Yeah, they can only have a maximum of 2 Jacks on them as well.
Okay, good to know. Yeah. In case you're cheating next time or something. Anyway, there you see that my Dawn Guard guys are, like you said, in the zone at the bottom.
Yeah, and that one guy is standing there, and what we were talking about at the end of this game is that we thought that actually they probably couldn't contest that zone because only one of them was in the zone, and the unit was 6 guys, wasn't it? So they were over 50% strength.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But that's not the case. It's actually that if you want to control a zone, then you need all the guys, and they need to be 50% strong. But to contest, they just need to be you just need one model in there to contest.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really brave enough to go and deal with them with Stryker. I could have just charged Stryker across. He's got reach. He probably would have made it. Oh, that's the end of the game there. He probably would have made it, and then he probably would have killed those 4 guys. But I might not have been in the zone, blah, blah, blah.
But I think in the end you just conceded because, as you can see, Issyria is sort of running off to the top left-hand corner of the board.
Yeah, right.
And I've got Sword Knights that have broken through the line and running towards her.
Yeah.
And I think she probably would have died on the next turn. If not, then the turn after that or the turn after that. And Stryker's very safe, so.
Yeah, and she is pretty squishy. So
yeah, she's a bit like Hayley. She's got a nice load of focus, but she's not that aggressive personally.
Yeah. So I know now that next time I definitely go for the first turn.
With that list, yes, definitely.
Kill you.
In fact, I think going for the first turn is almost always the right thing to do. I think in this Warmachine. Archers. Sorry, go on.
Except with my Mage Hunter Strike Force, I think I like going second there because they're nearly half across anyway with the advanced deployment, and then waiting for you there. So,
and I guess they can. If it depends how fast the army is though, because again with this army, the idea would then be if you were going second, I would run Thorn at you, and I would just be within. It would just be possible to get Thorn within 10 inches, or just on the edge of 10 inches, exactly 10 inches away, and would be able to cast Rebuke again, which would then, and then I'd be able to sort of walk up the rest of the army, and it would mean that you wouldn't be able to charge any jacks or anything with the Mage Hunters.
Yeah, exactly. So this was
So
quite a bit of loss for me.
Yeah. But it also broke my losing streak, so I was very happy about that. I lost 4 games. I think 4 games in a row. 2 of which were against you, and so I was smug about the whole game because I managed to win for the first time in a few weeks. So that was great.
And rightly so.
And I'll definitely be playing this list again. I'm waiting for because Rowdy was standing in for second Stormclad. So I'm waiting for that Stormclad model, and I'm also considering running this with Ragman to make that second turn strike even nastier.
Instead of Rupert.
As well as Ragman. I'd take out a couple of the Stormblades. I'd probably take away the Stormblade UA because I don't think I used Assault really. And then I would put in Ragman, and I would possibly swap Thorn for Rowdy, and then have Rowdy and 2 Stormclads. But having an arc node for Stryker for that Rebuke is very handy.
Right.
But there's also an argument for saying that I could run Stryker up himself, cast the spell, and then use his other spells to move him back again. So he could kind of be his own arc node in that sense. But I really like the idea of having 2 Stormclads and Rowdy in a list. That would be super nasty.
Really intimidating. Yeah.
What about your list? Would you do anything different with your list, or?
I think I need to understand it first. So I guess I will play that a couple of times to see what it can do, because they were all new models for me and I never used, except for the Hyperion, I never used any of them before. So
Oh, and the Sentinels as well.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But I just need some practice with them. So I would definitely use the same list again just to see what is in there.
Yeah. I think you need to be more aggressive generally as well with because I think with Warmachine you kind of have to take the initiative. You have to be in there and letting the other person react to what you're doing is better, I think.
Right, play like you've got a pair.
Exactly. Yeah. Cool. All right. Thanks very much, and I'll see you on the next game that we play together.
Yeah. See you then.
Cheers. Bye.